There are billionaires who court the spotlight. Their faces grace magazine covers. Their pronouncements fill the airwaves. Their lives become a kind of public theater. Then there is Philip Anschutz. He owns the stages where rock stars perform. He owns the arenas where champions are crowned. He owns the very land beneath bustling city centers. Yet he is a ghost in his own machine. He is one of the wealthiest individuals in America. A titan of industry, his influence stretches from oil fields, sea, to movie screens. Still, most people would not recognize him on the street. His story is not about flashy disruption or overnight success. It's a slow, deliberate masterclass in a forgotten art. Seeing value where no one else does. He is a study in contradictions. A deeply conservative man who profits from the rebellious energy of rock and roll. A teetotaler who owns venues selling oceans of beer. This essay explores the quiet, methodical construction of the Anschutz empire. There is no single explosive moment of genius. Instead, patience, calculated risk, an almost uncanny ability to connect disparate industries into a self-sustaining ecosystem. We begin in the oil patches of the American West. Philip Anschutz was not born into poverty. His narrative does not fit the classic rags-to-riches mold. His father, Fred, was a land investor oil wildcatter in Kansas, a man who understood the high-stakes game of drilling for fortune beneath the prairie soil. Yet the family business was far from a guaranteed ticket to immense wealth. It was a world of boom-bust. Fortunes could be made on one well or lost on the next. Young Philip learned about risk not as an abstract concept in a textbook, but as a tangible force that shaped his family's dinner table conversations. He attended the University of Kansas, earning a business degree in 1961, but his real education was already underway in the dusty oil fields alongside his father. He learned a fundamental lesson. Wealth came from owning something real, something you could touch. His career began not with a grand vision, but with a single decisive action. After graduating, he went to work for his father, immersing himself in the gritty operational details of the oil and gas industry. He wasn't just managing assets from an office, he was learning the business from the ground up. He borrowed money, bought out his father's drilling partners, taking control of the family business. It signaled his ambition and preference for control. This wasn't just about continuing a legacy, it was about shaping it himself. He started small, acquiring mineral rights, drilling wells, one by one. The turning point came in 1967. A fire at one of his natural gas wells near Gillette, Wyoming, threatened a financial catastrophe. Universal Studios sent a film crew, led by famed firefighter Red Adair, to document the spectacle for a movie starring John Wayne. For most, it was a disaster. For Anschutz, it was opportunity. He saw leverage in the smoke and flames. He sold a half-interest in the well to the film company, used the proceeds to pay off his debts. The incident was a masterclass in turning a liability into an asset. It became a recurring theme in his career. By the early 1980s, Philip Anschutz had amassed a significant fortune. In oil and gas, he was a recognized player, known for his shrewd dealings. He made a massive discovery, the Anschutz Ranch East Field, a billion-barrel reservoir on the Utah-Wyoming border. But where others doubled down, Anschutz saw volatility. True empires aren't built on one pillar. It was time to pivot. He began searching for an industry that was asset-rich, undervalued, overlooked by the market. He found it where most had written it off: the railroads. In 1984, he shocked Wall Street by buying the Rio Grande Railroad. To outsiders, it looked bizarre. Railroads were seen as slow, cumbersome, technologically obsolete. Anschutz saw something else, a sprawling network of tangible assets, trains, tracks, thousands of miles of land. Crucially, rights of way, a physical platform for future businesses. He wasn't just buying transportation, he was buying a vast corridor across the American West. His railroad strategy mirrored his oil play. He bought into a downturn. Assets cheap. He didn't stop with one. In 1988, he acquired the larger Southern Pacific and merged it with the Rio Grande. As the 21st century dawned, Philip Anschutz made his most audacious pivot yet. Having conquered the subterranean world of oil, railroads, real estate, he turned to something less tangible but immensely powerful: human experience. He recognized a fundamental shift: younger generations prioritizing experiences. People were spending on live events, concerts, sports, festivals. While others chased the internet, Anschutz doubled down on bringing people together in one place. He decided to build an empire around communal live entertainment. His entry point: distressed assets. He began buying struggling movie theater chains: United Artists, Edwards, Regal. He consolidated them into the Regal Entertainment Group, the world's largest cinema chain. But movies were just the beginning. Under Anschutz Entertainment Group, he launched an acquisition spree. He bought pro sports teams: the Los Angeles Kings, a major stake in the Los Angeles Lakers. He didn't just buy teams, he built them homes. He developed arenas: Crypto.com Arena, formerly Staples Center in Los Angeles, the O2 in London, T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. To understand how Philip Anschutz built his empire is to understand a consistent, almost deceptively simple set of rules. This is not a man driven by fads or market sentiment. He operates with a discipline that borders on dogma, a playbook honed over decades of deals across wildly different industries. The first and most important rule is to buy hard assets, preferably when they are unloved and undervalued. He invests in oil in the ground, steel rails, physical buildings, land. These assets have intrinsic, durable value independent of market hype. They provide a floor for his investments, a foundation of security, even if growth takes longer than expected. The second rule is to seek value in turmoil. Anschutz is a contrarian by nature. He ran toward industries everyone else fled. He bought railroads when they were considered industrial dinosaurs. He bought movie theaters when pundits predicted the death of cinema. Attempting to place a precise, real-time value on Philip Anschutz's fortune is a difficult exercise, as much of his empire is held privately. However, by examining the public record and the scale of his known assets, a clear picture of immense financial success emerges. As of 2025, his net worth is consistently estimated in the double-digit billions, placing him firmly among the wealthiest people on the planet. This wealth is not concentrated in the stock of a single company, but is spread across a diversified portfolio: industrial assets, cultural assets, making it exceptionally resilient to market fluctuations in any one sector. His fortune is a testament to the power of compounding returns on tangible, cash-flowing businesses held over the long term. The numbers behind his individual ventures are staggering. When he took Quest Communications public in the late 1990s, the company achieved a market capitalization of over $36 billion, and his personal profit from selling shares was reported to be in the billions. In the world of entertainment, AEG stands as a private behemoth. It is the world's second-largest presenter of live music and entertainment events, operating on multiple continents. It owns or manages over 300 arenas, stadiums, theaters globally. Iconic venues like the O2 in London, which AEG transformed from a failed public project into the world's most popular music arena, generate hundreds of millions in revenue annually. The Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival alone grosses well over $100 million each year. His sports holdings represent another deep well of value. The Los Angeles Kings, which he bought for $113 million in 1995, are now valued at over $1.3 billion. A more than tenfold increase. His significant minority stake in the Los Angeles Lakers has seen similar astronomical growth. These franchises are not just vanity projects. They are core tenants for his multi-billion-dollar real estate assets like Crypto.com Arena. The value is layered. The team's valuation grows. It generates ticket and media revenue, and its presence increases the value of the surrounding real estate that he also owns. This layered approach to value creation is a hallmark of his financial strategy. The sheer scale of his real estate portfolio is perhaps the most underappreciated component of his wealth. Beyond the high-profile entertainment districts, he remains one of the largest private landowners in the United States. The story of Philip Anschutz is more than just a saga of accumulating immense wealth. It is a blueprint for a different way of thinking about business and investment. It offers a set of powerful, enduring lessons that stand in stark contrast to the get-rich-quick mentality of our age. While we may not operate on the scale of buying railroad sports franchises, the core principles of his success are eminently practical and scalable. They provide a clear, actionable guide for anyone looking to build lasting value, whether in their own small business, their personal finances, or their career. His playbook is not about genius, but about discipline. It's about seeing the whole board. A railroad right-of-way bought in the 1980s, becoming a fiber optic backbone for 21st century entertainment. This is the story of Philip Anschutz, the quiet king of a very loud world. From the ground beneath our feet, to experiences that capture our collective imagination. The central question, how did he do it? The answer, a playbook. Principles applied consistently for over 50 years, built on patience, calculated risk, and the ownership of real, tangible things.